Hey guys, this is Chris and y'all, the host of No Holding Back, and today we got a very fun episode for you. We'll be discussing the top 10 comedies of all time. Obviously, with this list, there's a lot of controversial picks, but I'm gonna have to break it down and give you my reasoning. And with that being said, I have one of my closest friends, all the way back from high school, that actually took the time to help me out with this list and watch some of these movies with me in the past. Mr. Brandon Diaz.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Well, they can't answer that because this is a fucking podcast. Anyways, so we're going to start off with an honorable mention, and we both agreed on 21 Jump Street.
Yes, 21 Jump Street is definitely has to be such a classic. You know what I mean? Going back to high school, you know what I mean? We all love that movie. Kind of about two guys who wanted to go back and relive their high school and kind of just fix what they couldn't do before. And so many funny moments, Chris. What do you think about it?
Well, just to clarify, guys, we're not fucking like 15. We're in our 20s. So,
Well, I said back when we were in high school, yeah.
Yeah, well, people are going to be like, what the fuck? Were you like 35 years old when you went to high school, or college, high school, whatever?
Back when I was a kid.
Nah, so basically when we were like 14 years old, so about like 6 years ago.
About 6 years ago.
Maybe even before, a little bit before that, whenever this movie came out, I think it was 2012,
14,
something like that.
Man.
It's basically, something that like at the time we thought it was literally the funniest shit, and we didn't even know about 21 Jump Street being a TV series in the first place.
Yes.
We thought it was just like its own like movie. We didn't even know like, okay, this is an original idea.
Yeah, the history about it.
But then as we got older, we watched it maybe a second or third time. We realized this was actually a TV show based on Johnny Depp's character. This is literally what launched him as the fucking megastar that he is right now. And he's actually in this movie, him and his partner from the original TV series, and they get shot. And there's one scene that literally makes me piss my pants. One of the was he a gangster or is like a biker? He's a biker, right?
It's a biker.
Yeah. So he's one of the bikers that are in on the like the drug like negotiations or like cartel, and he's like, man, it always makes me crack up. You played saxophone at my sister's wedding. Duff titty, I fucked her too. So like that line, man, like he was literally in the movie for like 2 minutes before he got shot through the neck, and like that's like his way to go, man. That one liner, he just killed it on top of like everything, like in that heated moment. Like we thought maybe he was gonna lift past that, but regardless, Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill are fantastic in this.
Even in high school, like "My name's Death," like even that, like was such a popular
Everyone's
thing.
Still saying that to
I
this
feel
day.
like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's made it so iconic. In that movie, like we still talk about it. You know what I mean?
And I'm pretty sure
Like,
that's from
like
22 Jump Street.
That's from 22. Yeah. But just to like go a little off topic, but just to show how iconic the series is. You know what I mean?
There was rumors that they were gonna make a third one with the Men in Black introduced, but I think they failed to do that because literally it was gonna be a stupid idea. But maybe like that fucking wacky idea. Maybe it could have been like actually like a gold mine. Maybe it would have been a masterpiece of a comedy.
Yeah.
But we don't know. And there's so many funny scenes in this movie. Jonah Hill literally after arresting the guy, just fucking shooting up in the sky at the park, and there's like a family running away.
Yeah, and then later on you have like Jason's what's his name?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Whoops. He ends up like just messing up like the rights, like you have the right to remain silent. He's completely butchering it. There's so many other funny moments. Oh man! Even when they're both like trying to gag each other because they took so many drugs. And the
they're
janitor
fingering each other's mouths.
And then the janitor sees them and is like, "What the fuck is going on?"
He's not the janitor. He's the coach.
Oh, the coach. Yeah.
That's that you later find out that he's actually like
he's part
the
of
main guy.
The main guy
that's like distributing the drugs in the high school. So great job, fucking asshole like teacher. Fuck, man. What else is in this fucking movie, man? There's so much shit to think about.
Well, even Ice Cube. He's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, him just yelling. You know, he even says like, "You, oh, you think like I'm your stereotypical like African American, just yelling and always mad all the time."
Well, guess what? I am like that.
And
The way he says it.
he confirms that. You know, like this is one of the movies that
He
like
just joke on stereotypes here and there, which is
yeah,
kind of
exactly. And a lot of movies on our list basically they take stereotypes and they make a mockery of it because they know
and exaggerate it to a high level.
yeah, because they know that like a lot of like
People will get the reference.
people like in the movie industry, directors and stuff like they're unaware of like those controversies that people don't really like to see in movies, like the blackface and so on. I don't want to get too political here, but you know, the comedies know what they're doing. That's why they're very intelligent because they know how to tackle these issues into a funny manner. I'm not saying it's funny at all. These are serious issues, but they just know how to make it funny.
Another thing with that also is like when you're watching a comedy, you kind of know that they're just doing it as a joke. They're not meant to take it to make it serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether the points they're making in the movie is just to make it, you know, a joke out of everything. You know, I mean, anything could be considered a joke. You know what I mean? Not to take everything to heart. So that's another thing just to be mentioned.
And that's why so many comedies nowadays will never touch the movies that we mentioned right now because nowadays there's too much of that woke culture happening. I'm not saying it's bad, but cancel culture, whatever you want to call it.
Some of them for right reasons, some of them for the right reasons.
Yeah, of course, you know. But you know, it really takes away from like the comedy from that were portrayed in these movies. You know, these are movies that we grew up with, so that's why we find it funny. We don't really support everything. There's some jokes that are really cringy, but we just wanted to clarify that. Another scene in this movie, going back on topic, is literally she's like that old lady that he knows, Jonah Hill, at the shoe place, and he's like, "Oh, shut the fuck up," and he tries like closing her lips.
She's about to expose that he's undercover cop.
Yeah, exactly. So he literally pushes her into an aisle of all fucking shoe boxes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fucking bitch has fucking arthritis. Try to touch my dick."
Oh, it's a classic.
Man, it's so stupid, man. Anyways, moving to number 10. So this is basically a movie that is really legendary with the legendary Will Ferrell and a fantastic cast that supports him, and Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, and Christina Applegate. What do you want to say about this movie, Brandon?
Oh man, like I don't even know where to start. Like I'll just get a little backstory about the movie, but like the Anchorman is basically about Ron Burgundy, you know, like trying to pick up this girl Veronica. I don't like what's her actress name in the movie. Her real name.
Her real name is Christina Applegate.
Yeah, but
I don't know if I pronounced that properly, but whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of about like him trying to pick her up the whole time, and in the end, he kind of wins. And it's also about like how men were like dominating the news station at the time. It was like mostly like men doing that type of job,
and that was a problem during that time.
And women were trying to break into those jobs and be able to like put their foot through the door and be able to like make themselves heard, make themselves known, and being able to do like jobs that only men used to do in the past.
And what's so funny about her character is that she's spot on a feminist during that time, and
which was rare.
Which is a perfect portrayal about it because she stands up for herself. She doesn't take shit from anybody. But like they turn it into a comedy from a comedy perspective, where like the things that she actually does, it's like, whoa, like that's extreme, but it's really fucking funny. Like you wouldn't expect a woman during those days to like literally stand up for themselves. That are like in that position. They would literally be like fucking demolished by like men. No, not in that way, but like they would like take all the shit from the men. But this girl does not. She stands up for her shit. But
I know a good example of that too. Like the scene where Paul Rudd puts on this famous Panther cologne.
Sex Panther. Illegal
cologne.
in 9 countries.
And it's supposed to kind of like make women flock towards him, as they say. You know what I mean? And basically, he puts the cologne and he goes towards Veronica. I think he's all smooth, he's all that. And then Veronica says, like, "What do you smell? Like, what is that? Bigfoot's dick you smell like?"
No, and he's like, well, right before that scene where he's like introducing it to Will Ferrell, he's like, "Oh my god, it smells like pure gasoline." And then Paul Rudd responds by saying, "60% of the time it works every time." And then Will Ferrell's like, but that makes no sense. And like it does not make any sense. And I guess it was not part of that 60% of the time that actually worked because literally the whole fucking anchor station flocks away
Yeah, I know.
and
Like
they have to hose him down after because he smells like
really
pure
bad.
piss. Like
100%.
shit, like someone died, and someone also refers to him as like shit in a diaper or something
Yeah.
like that.
That's pretty funny.
It was really funny, and
Another funny scene with Paul Rudd was like, I have a nickname for my penis. It's called the Octagon. My left ball is called James What's Farley. And I forget what he names the right ball, which is so funny.
like who the fuck names their ball sack? First of
to
all,
name your dick, I can understand.
a lot of guys used to
joking,
name their
just joking,
dicks in high school.
But to name the balls, that's a little too far fetched.
Mine was called Jimmy. Why? I don't know why. No,
We're just joking,
I don't know.
guys.
We're just joking. Or maybe we're not joking. Maybe Jimmy is my dick name. Yeah. Another character that's classic in this movie, Steve Carell's character, Brick. Like, literally, he's as dumb as a fucking brick. Like, there's no, like, other way to explain it. So everyone is attempting to hit on Veronica and whoever, like, basically, they challenge each other to basically see who's gonna be the guy that's gonna get a date with her.
Yeah,
So, they dare Steve Carell's character, Brick, to go, like, say something to her. So he basically goes up to her and he's like, there's an invitation to the pants party. And they're like, what the fuck? What do you mean the pants party? There's a party happening down below. And she's like, don't you mean there's a fucking party happening in your pants and you want me to join? Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. You know, like, it's so stupid.
But let's just say that he isn't the brightest one in the group.
He's not.
He's definitely not the brightest one.
Periods attract bears. And not even that. I love desk. Are you literally saying that you love everything in this room? I love lamp. You know, he's just like naming everything in the office, you know. And another key part about Steve Carell's character, Brick, is literally in that anchor station fight where like you have like Vince Vaughn show up and Ben Stiller and the guy from Shawshank Redemption, I always forget his fucking name. Literally, when everyone gears up to fight, Steve Carell is holding a hand grenade and he's like, Brick, where'd you get that hand grenade? He's like, I don't know.
Like, he just comes up with the most random stuff. But like, even the scene where he just starts screaming for no reason.
Why is everyone yelling? What are we yelling about?
Yeah, and the other part is like, I love lamps!
Oh my god, man. Not only that, when he throws the fucking trident and then he smiles and he just walks off.
Seriously, it was one proud moment.
That's so bad.
Oh, you cannot forget one of the best parts. It was when Ron Burgundy explained to what San Diego stands for.
It's but he doesn't say it like San Diego. He's like San Diego. San Diego, or something like that. Like very in a Spanish like accent.
Yeah, and he's like San Diego is German for Wall's vagina.
Whale's vagina.
Oh, whale's vagina.
Yeah,
right.
German. Wall's vagina. What? Really? That's not what they said in the fucking movie.
Whoops.
No.
Misquote. Don't
Oh my god, man. And then obviously the GIF that everyone always posts where he's holding his cold fresh beer and he's like, boy, that escalated quickly. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to do the voices as best as I can. I'm gonna be doing a lot of those fucking voices. Even Brandon's gonna be doing that shit.
Yeah, you just gotta get used to it, sadly.
And if you don't, well, fuck you, San Diego. He says that in the movie, just quoting him. Oh, so, at number 9, Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
So, why do we have this ranked at number 9?
I feel like Happy Gilmore was one of those funny stories because, like, he's so not, like, a golfer, but he just happens to be amazing at it. And with anger management issues, it just makes it so funny. And
it's what really launched Adam Sandler. Yeah. It's like those movies like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison.
It's like the over-exaggerated version of a character in a way. You know what I mean?
I mean, we can all agree that Adam Sandler's movies were way better back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, today's comedy, you know, it's really hit or miss now. You know, and I don't really know. I really hope one day he really makes a comedy masterpiece, but, you know, it's been a while. I think the last one he made that was good was probably... I mean, people say that it's... what's it called again? Holy crap. What's it
Which
called
one?
again?
What is it? His last comedy special?
No, fuck. The one with all the guys.
All the guys. Oh man.
Fuck. It slipped on my. It's like literally on my tongue. It's slipping away from my mind. Anyways, whatever. I'll probably get back to it after. We're not done with Adam Sandler on this list. We're
No,
just
no, no.
saying. Um, yeah, but Zohan is probably one of them. Hint, hint.
There's so many good movies. Man.
Yeah, but going back to Happy Gilmore, you know, literally what's hilarious about it is that like the way that he literally pumps himself up as like this fucking amazing hockey player, but literally could barely skate, but he's the best slap shot with no aim. Literally could kill anybody.
But the funny thing is, like, he reminds me like exactly like he wears the hat, the Bruins jersey, and he's like just that guy who always wants to brawl everybody, kind of like a Bruins player himself.
Yeah, like Brad Marchand.
Yeah,
like actually, he reminds me of like
or
a
like
funny,
or like old Lucic.
yeah, a funny Milan Lucic.
Yeah, he reminds me like exactly. You couldn't say any better, man. It's
and like everyone knows he's horrible. Like when he goes up to the coach and he's like, "So did I make the? Where's my name, coach? Did you forget my name? Am I on the list?" And he's like, "Let me see. Nope, you didn't make the team again." And then he literally fucking goes after him and pummels him like to the ground.
Go after the coach, like even demolishes other players trying to defend.
Like everyone's trying to defend him. He's literally
taking on 10 people.
That kind of sounds like the Water Boy a little bit,
He's like the Water Boy, but with extra anger management.
Yeah,
but a little bit more normal.
Literally take two of his future movies after that: Anger Management and basically the Water Boy, and that's Happy Gilmore.
Except he's not a stutter.
And this is like one of Ben Stiller's first movies too, as the caretaker to his grandmother, to Adam Sandler's grandmother, and he's like, yeah, I'll take really good care of her. You don't give me any money, And then as soon as he leaves, he mistreats the shit out of the grandmother. Yeah. And she's like, oh, can you help me? And he's like, shut the hell up, or I'll put you to sleep. Like little things like that. Like sometimes, like we look at movies and some actors that we haven't seen or never noticed back then in smaller roles literally like steal the show. And like
that's a good example.
That's a perfect example from Ben Stiller in that. And then the iconic Boston Bruins jersey. I know they have a statue of Happy Gilmore in Boston. I don't know if you knew that, Brandon.
I actually didn't know that.
They actually have a statue that they put up maybe in the early 2010s, around that time. I think Adam Sandler even took a picture with it, I'm pretty sure, but whatever, I don't want to get off topic. Also, another funny scene, when he's talking on the intercom and he's like, I'm sorry, baby, come back upstairs. Happy's gonna make you happy. He's gonna show you a good time. And the little boy's there.
Smoochy smooch.
Yeah, I give him the smoochy smooch. Come on, baby. He's like licking the thing, And then like the Asian lady just listening. She comes upstairs, and he starts singing a song, and she comes upstairs, and he's like, oh, what the fuck? And then it cuts to the next scene where literally she did end up having sex with him, and she's wearing his shirt, and it's like, what the fuck? He slept with a gilf? Like, I really don't understand that. It was funny.
One of my favorite moments also is like just seeing like Happy Gilmore or Adam Sandler there, just fighting the alligator for the ball, and he's like, he goes inside the water
because that took his mentor's hand that later dies in the movie. Yeah, spoiler.
Exactly. Well, I didn't want to spoil it, but yeah.
But not only that, you're forgetting about one key thing: Bob Barker. Ooh, The Price is Right, the classic.
And when they fight and do a little boxing match in the middle of the tournament,
he's like literally like 70 years old, and he fucking kicks his ass.
And he boxes like Mike Tyson using the jab.
Like literally 20 jabs to the face. Tuck, tuck,
and then he hits him with a body shot. It's just
I don't know how a 70-year-old body moves like that, but Jesus, they actually recreated that move, that scene in Adam Sandler tribute, like maybe 5 years ago, and like literally, he was like in his 90s, the guy now, and he still beat the shit out of Adam Sandler.
Oh my god!
Till this day, it was like the rematch, and that people were like, they thought he was actually gonna win, but Bob Barker, my bad, is superior to him. Anyways, moving to number 8.
Oh wait, no, before you say that,
okay,
there's one good scene left you forgot, right?
You tell me.
Is when Adam Sandler is still learning how to, golf and everything, and the trainer is teaching him. And he's like trying, and he gets the putt finally in the hole of the clown.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, die, clown!" Remember?
He's like beating the shit out of the
and
thing.
he beats the shit out of the machine because it was laughing at him because the ball didn't want to go in.
Stop making fun of me! Stop making me!
And he goes attack the clown basically.
Not only that, but just a good movie in general, which started up his career and which is basically one of his better performances and what made him into a legend. Yeah. So now we're going to number 8. So don't interrupt me, motherfucker. Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
Why is this a funny movie? And why people might not find this a funny movie? Just how loser characters, the biggest losers on screen, are put on the big screen and actually have their chance to have their own movie and to see like what these really like how their like lives are like on a daily basis, and like the actor who portrays Napoleon is literally like, sorry to say, but he's typecast in that role for the rest of his life because that's his like the biggest banger role that he did in his career.
Wonders like the best movies ever done, and no one's heard of him since.
Yeah, I mean, he was at another stuff, but this is really like his staple.
Not anything in that same level. Or
this is the funniest one. You got the classic vote for Pedro, the T-shirt, and like Napoleon helping out his friend Pedro. The dance sequence was oh my god! Like the first time watching that. Like, what were you thinking the first time watching that? Did you really think he was actually going to pull it off when he's like, "Oh, I'm actually dancing"?
I thought he was going to mess up the dance completely. And he was just going to
He killed it, man. He killed it.
You didn't expect a character like him to go away and dance.
So monotone like this. Gosh.
He just kills the show.
Embarrassing me, man. And then like, people like throughout the whole movie when he's like, "Yeah, I'm practicing my dance moves," and people like literally think this guy is like probably the worst dancer ever, and he literally pulls it off in like a 4-minute like dance sequence, and it's like the funniest thing ever because like you realize that like a nerd, with maybe like no qualities, actually like pulls it off, and he has like this hidden talent, and that's so funny about it, and then his Uncle Rico, literally the biggest dickhead, like in like all comedy movies, treats his nephew like a piece of shit. Like Napoleon's riding the bike, and you got Pedro in the back, obviously like his bitch, because you're riding the bike, and then he tells Kip, he's like, "Watch this," and then he's your big alpha male, football football star like in high school and stuff, reminiscing about his good years, what could have been, type of character. So he takes the piece of meat off Kip's, not even his own meat, Kip's like, which is like his Napoleon's cousin, and takes the steak and literally whips it at Napoleon when he rides his bike. His glasses shatter onto the floor, and he's like, "Oh gosh!" and he like falls onto the floor with Pedro. He's like, "See that? God damn! I would have been a really good goddamn quarterback if I was still in my prime. Wow. God, I would have been such a good football player." Anyways, what else about this movie you want to talk about?
Oh, for me, it was just mostly like the dance matches. So
really? That's all you have to say about that? I have one more thing to say about that. The llama. Or the...
yes, true, the llama.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
The llama. When he just goes up to the
Or
llama.
alpaca, I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, I think it's an alpaca or a llama. Let's just say it's both.
Let's say I don't know much about my animals, so let's say.
And he literally is always annoyed to feed it. He just hopes that it literally dies. It croaks on the floor. Yeah, he's like... What? Oh my god. "Tina, you fat lard, come and eat dinner. Get some dinner. Oh, eat it." And he's like, whips the fucking food. He literally chucks the food out of that. Oh my god. Like, I would have never thought like... That's when you know he's a really big nerd. Like, who has a freaking pet like alpaca, or llama, whatever you want to call it, Like, my god, get a dog. Get a dog or a fucking cat. Or a turtle,
Like, flipper.
Whatever. Anyways, at number 7, this is gonna cause a lot of controversy, obviously, but we're gonna defend ourselves. So please do not fucking shit your pants yet. give us a chance. So Tropic Thunder as number 7. Why did we choose this number? Why did we choose Tropic Thunder as number 7?
Tropic Thunder was hilarious because like there's just like the characters they had in the movie. They're such an amazing cast. Like you had Tom Cruise, you had Rob Downey Jr., you had
Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey,
McConaughey. Like who else did they
Bill
have?
Hader,
Bill Hader. You got
Jay Baruchel, did you say Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller as well.
Jack
Yes.
Black,
Jack Black. Like the cast you had was just phenomenal.
Nick Nolte that plays the war veteran
Yeah,
that
like-
has like a hook as a fucking hand. It looks like fucking
Yeah, they kind of had a cast
a pirate.
that made it do amazing. Like you cannot like fail a cast that well. You know what I mean?
and it lived up to the expectation,
Yeah.
and probably even did better. You know, Robert Downey Jr. got a Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Role. Yes, he was in
Even though there was some
blackface.
controversy,
Yes,
yeah.
he was in blackface, which is bad. But
I don't think they meant to in a bad way when they were trying to film that movie.
yeah, he even defended himself, and even like African American
especially-
actors like Jamie Foxx said he found it
Yeah,
hilarious.
see, sometimes in comedy, I feel like you should be able to get away with certain concepts because you know they're doing it just to make the movie funny, and even though it's not funny with what happened with all that, like it's just for the sake of the movie, and you shouldn't take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the reason why this movie is so funny is because it makes fun of every single stereotypes.
Every stereotype, whites, everybody. You know what I mean, it's
Like,
hilarious.
And we're gonna do a breakdown. So starting off with Robert Downey Jr.'s character, they make a mockery of blackface because a lot of characters get whitewashed a lot, right? So they wanted
and
to.
also because there wasn't a lot of black characters in the time in movies, those starting movies.
So they're not making fun of the concept of blackface as like not being a serious issue. They're just making fun of it to expose Hollywood and its past mistakes. Then you got Jack Black and his addiction, but in this movie it's a sugar addiction. Without a sugar, he literally has like anxiety attacks, spasm attacks, whatever you want to call them. He loses his mind. He's delusional. He starts going fucking crazy. He starts yelling. You know. Then you have Ben Stiller. You know, your stereotypical A-list actor that makes that one bad movie and then his career is all shattered for the rest, and you're known for that one bad movie after that ruined your career.
That's I guess that happens to some actors. Like there was a point where Ryan Reynolds was starting off topic, but even Ryan Reynolds when he did Green Lantern, you know, got a little bit shunned and everything because it's such a bad movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of actors. I can't really think of any at the moment.
Well, that's the only actor I can think of right now. Right?
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds at the time when he did Green Lantern, but.
Well, I think thankfully he's Deadpool and he saved his career with that.
Yeah.
That's literally what saved his career. But going back to the movie, Les, is his name Les Grossman?
I think it's less. Yeah.
Yeah, Les Grossman, portrayed by Tom Cruise. My God, man, that's literally mocking your typical like corporate
Agent,
like
yeah,
owner
manager.
or no, is he an agent or an owner?
I think he's an agent or like.
Yeah, like you know, like he. Whatever. He's an alpha male, and he's very like stubborn. You know, he defends what's his territory, like your typical agent. But like not only that, like Tom Cruise wanted to do this because you know he wanted to be in a comedy. You know, he was tired of always being in serious movies, and
Mission Impossible like 9 times.
Yeah, and he basically made this role his. You know, he specifically wanted big hands to show like how like dominating he was.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want a hairy chest. I want to have like, I want to be fat. You know, I just want to like be that stereotypical like agent or like corporate like business like thinking CEO of like a movie company. You know, like Disney or some shit like that. You know, and it just makes fun of that. You know, and literally when he's talking to one of the Asian guys who kidnapped the actors in the movie. You know, he tries to get a ransom, and he's like, take a step back and literally fuck your own face. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. Simple Jack is my territory, bitch. And he starts like yelling at him and stuff, and like that, that was so funny. And so many people went in that movie not knowing that that was Tom Cruise. You only saw it in the credits, or when people
Yeah.
talked about it, or when he
Well,
showed up on the red carpet.
Because you don't see Tom Cruise look like Tom Cruise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's rare that Tom Cruise changes his like entire look for a movie. Like he had glasses on and everything. You couldn't even recognize him that much.
Another scene is like Ben Stiller, man. Ben Stiller, where he kills the panda by mistake, and like in Simple Jack, like which is one of the movies where he plays that guy with a mental disorder, but he goes, as they say, full retard, and he uses the panda pellets as like a camouflage to like stay warm and stuff. And he's like all regretful, and he starts like, oh, what the fuck did I do? Because when he gets attacked in the rainstorm, he thinks like it's a big vicious bear, but like he literally killed like a panda, and he loves pandas, and it was fucking hilarious to see that. Going back to Robert Downey Jr. You want to say this quote?
Yeah, I gotta do this one.
You say that one.
One of my favorite parts was when Robert Downey Jr. basically says that I don't drop character until I do a DVD.
DVD commentary.
Oh man, it's just hilarious.
Oh man, that was fucking funny. You know, like people might hate on his character, man, but I really thought he was hilarious in this movie.
No, but it's not even just that. I just feel like for Robert Downey Jr., like it's a good thing for him because like he used to always do, or after that, he used to always do pretty much like Disney movies, always doing Marvel. Like this is so different from that.
Well,
and it makes it show that he's a great actor.
He made this after like the first Iron Man, so like he was basically establishing himself back again because, as you all know, he was in big trouble after like the '90s where he won an Oscar, I think. He got nominated for the Charlie Chaplin movie, and he was phenomenal in that. And he basically fell off the rails, and he's starting to do movies again to bring back his character, not his character, but his career.
Yeah, his career.
And this people were saying like he after this movie he literally fucked his career again because of the blackface. But literally he got another Oscar nominated performance. Even though he didn't win it, Heath Ledger won it deservingly, obviously, rest in peace. But another fucking scene that's hilarious is like, I know who I am. I'm a dude playing another dude disguised as a dude. I think I fucked that up. I did fuck that up. Give me another chance, okay? I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Yeah, that's basically it. So don't fucking make fun of me on my first attempt, okay?
No, but the funny thing is also like in the movie, he's Australian and he's blonde hair. You know what I mean?
And like one of the black actors in the movie always referenced that.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Oh, you're Australian. You know what I mean? Start making fun of him and start saying all kangaroos and stuff.
Yeah, fucking kangaroo.
Go get a kangaroo or something like that. It's just funny. Yeah.
And obviously another quote, and this movie is like fucking full of quotes, especially from Robert Downey Jr.'s character. And I'm gonna go with one last one before we go to number 6, and that is never go full retard. Everybody knows you never go full retard. That's when he's referring to Ben Stiller's Simple Jack character. He says, he's basically implying like you went way too much, you went overboard for that, because he was saying that like Sean Penn in that movie that he made in the early 2000s, I Am Sam, he was a good dad. He was not like, even though if he had a mental disorder. Then you had Forrest Gump, where he says he was very intelligent because he had his own company and stuff, and he made a living even though if he had a mental disorder. And he's like, and he called him a national treasure too, because he's like, oh, American staple, whatever. But he's like, you, Ben Stiller, your character, you went full retard. That was way too much. You literally ruined your career. And yeah, with that being said, number 6, number 6. My bad, not 7. Scary Movie 3.
Ooh, Scary Movie 3. Where do we start from here? Scary Movie 3 is like honestly one of my favorite movies, I'll say, in my opinion, because like there's so like they just kind of like mock everything, like all the other movies that have happened already. They mock like past horror movies. They mock 8 Mile. They mock so many different movies and give it like it's like comedic spin on it that just makes it just amazing.
And referring back to the controversy again, a lot of people like to nitpick movies like this. You know, they make fun of the KKK and you know black stereotypes and stuff, whatever. But again, it's another smart movie where they're just the director and the people involved in the project are fully aware of what they're doing, and they're making a mockery of past Hollywood movies and some directors' views on stuff, and they're taking a comedic like perspective of it, and that they're trying to flip it around and use it as a mockery, but at the same time making it hilarious. And there's one scene where Charlie Sheen walks in, and he's like, I forgot his daughter's name. He's like, "Oh, is that you?" And he's just, and he's like, "What? You're not my daughter." Ah! Oh my God! What are you doing? It's Michael Jackson, or a guy that's portraying Michael
Yeah, he
Jackson.
saw afterwards that he was in a suit, so like it was somebody portraying Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and like he's doing you know, his dance moves from like his music
He was
videos,
like
that
hitting
you
a
know,
moonwalk,
the moonwalk, and then
touching the crotch
he goes,
and all that.
oh, and he kicks him in the balls, and then
Michael Jackson, like I remember at one part, I think it was Trush hits him in the balls, and Michael Jackson doesn't even feel it. He's like, oh,
and he's like, and Charlie Sheen's like, what the fuck? And we're not trying to say Charlie Sheen's like the best comedian actor. You know, I know he's done a lot of bad things, but in this movie, he's actually funny.
Yeah, like, he's did a good job there. And 2.5 Men, I would say. You know,
and
he's okay.
Not only that, like when he's strangling him up down the window, and he's like, "Oh, I'm falling!" Oh, and then like he falls, and it was like an alien disguised as Michael Jackson, and then he has like a skin. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And speaking of the aliens, you're gonna cover this because I don't know what the fucking hand gestures are and all that shit. And you love this movie, so you're the expert. So describe that shit.
So this is the part when they go into that farmhouse, and when they finally see the aliens coming in, and they finally land, and you just see like they say, "Oh, how do you say hello in their language?" And basically they just start choking the guy. It's like, and they start choking one of the guys.
I remember that,
right? Yeah. And it's like, oh, well then how do you guys say goodbye? And he just rails this guy in the nuts with a leg kick. Oh my God, it was hilarious. And the guy drops on the floor. He's like, "Ooh!" And he's like,
and don't they piss from the finger too?
Yeah. Then he's like, then
pisses in his mouth.
Then he's like, "Oh, if you think that's cool, see how he piss." And the alien puts his fingers like Charlie Sheen's mouth, and the guy starts pissing in his mouth. It was such a hilarious.
I mean, I would say the franchise got less funnier as the movies went by.
I would say start off good, got better, and then the last one wasn't that great.
Yeah, which Charlie Sheen came back to do with Lindsay Lohan. So two disgraced actor and actress that nobody really cares about anymore.
Well, you can talk about Kevin Hart. How he
that's probably one of his first performances. Sorry, yeah. I mean, he was actually in Disaster Movie 2, which is one of those movies that are very similar to the scary movies. He was always a minor part in those movies. He always had like some minor role in one of those movies because he was just a up and coming comedian during that time, you know.
Yeah, but it's so crazy to see how far he's come from like being like an extra movie, a minor character or like an extra in a movie to now being like one of the top like comedians, you know, in our era. I would say, you know,
it's amazing how like sometimes it shows that like. Maybe sometimes taking the little parts that you know you don't really have much to say, and now you're literally speaking the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
So that's amazing for me.
And there's so many other good scenes as well. Like in the beginning of the movie, I think I remember Cindy goes to pick up her child from school, and then she gets in the car and she forgets her child outside, so she starts driving off, and the kid is running towards the car, and she's like, "Oh, I forgot Cody," which is
the kid gets hit.
She hits the kid, and the kid goes flying.
The kid got hit like 3 or 4 times. I remember the scene now. It just came to me. The classic air conditioning, you know, like where the one that turns there.
Yes, that part. Too.
And like he goes flying and he gets stuck, and then he goes flying through the window.
George taking care of him. George, I forget the actor's name, but
that guy actually used to be a porn star. You know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like a porn star. If you see the way he dresses in the movie.
Yeah, he was really known for the scary movies, but it was actually rumored that he he dated Meghan Markle, and she said like he had bad breath or bad odor or something, which is kind of weird. Um,
Yeah.
the Duchess or the ex-Duchess, and
Another funny scene also from that movie was also like
yeah, go ahead, man.
when Brenda pulls a prank on Cindy, and then afterwards, like she catches her hand on fire. It was a fake hand, and she pranks Cindy so many times. It kind of like the Boy Who Cried Wolf. After when she goes inside the room to go get the popcorn, there's like that scary woman who pops out of the TV
From The Ring.
Yeah.
It's a mockery of The Ring.
Yeah,
It's a parody.
and it's like Cindy, Jesus, Cindy, the TV is leaking.
Well, actually, that's pretty scary. I know there was like a voice crack, but I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
I can't do a woman's voice. I'm so sorry.
Doesn't she, like, when you were telling me once,
And
once
he's
you watched that movie, that she fought her, right?
Yeah, she fights the girl. Like, it was a funny fight scene.
Oh my god.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, you want to see me move? You want to see me move?" And then she like punches the girl. Oh my god!
It's like a Matrix like sequence going on.
yes.
Like then again, if you're not familiar with this like scary movies, they make a mockery of all serious movies. Now as number 5.
Boy, we're still got more to talk about, man.
Oh, you have more to
We still
talk
got
about?
more,
Well,
bro.
fucking go ahead.
Oh,
I feel like
bro.
a bastard cutting you off all the time.
No, don't worry about
Like
it.
you're all silent, and then
No.
you're like,
Well, there's some of them.
wait, forgot about it.
Wait. Okay, so after when the girl there basically kills Brenda, the girl from the ring thing there, the girl who's like possessed and stuff.
Spoiler: Brenda comes back in a future movie.
Yeah. So basically, in Brenda's funeral, okay, Andy, okay, one of the guys from the rap battles, okay, tries to slap Brenda to try to wake her up.
Oh my god!
He sees that her feet are
She's alive! She's alive!
She's alive! She's alive! And basically, he starts like giving her like a CPR.
Isn't that
mouth.
the guy from Kangaroo Jack?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
He was also in Transformers.
He played in Cody Banks also. I think.
Yes, that's it.
He played in
I
Cody
forgot the
Banks.
actor's name, but he's so funny.
In the movie, his name is Andy. So
yeah,
like,
that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after you see George come in, he takes like his 2 wires and like does like basically shocks her heart and tries to wake her back up, and she just see parts go flying.
Oh yeah,
and her body
explodes.
parts go flying. Her legs.
The cables that basically you hook up to like a car and stuff.
Yeah, cables from a car.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's
oh man,
retarded.
and so many other funny scenes. Like,
That's crazy.
Like another one was when George was taking care of Brenda, taking care of Cindy's son Cody, and because she had to go somewhere, and afterwards,
where does this kid come from? Like, who's the father?
Well, it's not her kid, but like I think she adopted him, so it's kind of like her kid.
Like her, I think her friends died.
I think her Cody's parents died in the movie, something like that. I don't remember the whole thing by her, but yeah, basically, so George's supposed to be taking care of Cody. He ends up hitting his head, and he goes Yahtzee, playing the game, and then afterwards he just knocks back out again. It was
Oh
so
my
funny.
god, that fucking kid.
Oh man. So
is there anything else you'd like to mention? Or
well, did we mention the Oracle? When the Oracle fights the girl in the screen.
You talked about that already.
Okay, no, that's about it.
My god, this guy. As you can tell, he literally is the scary movie fucking expert. So we're gonna fuck off from scary movies now because I'm tired of talking about that, and we're gonna go to number 5 and Don't Mess the Zohan. So Adam Sandler makes it back on the list again.
Yeah, Zohan. It's kind of like a good movie as well. Like just like the storyline behind it is like good one. Like just chase your dreams kind of way. Like in the beginning, in the Zohan or whatever Adam Sandler, whatever you want to call it.
What about comedic like twist? Obviously.
Yeah, he was trying to. Well, he was being part of the military, and he enjoyed that. So he ended up wanting to become a hairdresser to fulfill his dream and move to America.
You like Silky Smooth? Like Silky Smooth? And like he bangs like all the elderly ladies like in the back, and they're like, "This is the best haircut I ever got."
And it was never really the haircut. It was just a sex.
It was just the sex.
It was just the sex. You know what I mean? He's got the moves.
Oh, remember the
disco
the Jewish guy that he moves in because like he hits him with the bike.
Michael. His name is Michael.
No. Why do you fight this guy? And then he's like, and then he pulls out his slipper and he beats the shit out of him.
He gives him what he calls the feet uppercut.
Yeah, he does that to the businessman to protect the kid with the bike.
Yeah.
Which is
and he turns into a pretzel. Remember? He puts him into a pretzel.
Yeah, puts him in a pretzel. It's like, smell it.
Not take it.
Not take it. And then like he hits him in the face. The guy that's riding the bicycle was.
And I think he did it barefoot, and they just even
yeah,
worse.
Exactly. And the guy that's riding the bicycle is was in Just Go With It with Jennifer Aniston. He plays like his friend. Uh, you've seen him in minor roles. He's really with the David Spade, Kevin James, Steve Buscemi, all the funny guys like Entourage, basically. So let's call it let's nickname it the Adam Sandler Entourage. So he's part of that clique.
Well, another funny moment also is like when the Zohan, or he ends up moving in with Michael, which was the guy who got hit from the car.
Oh, it's Michael. Okay, that's the guy with the bike. You made me refer to him as the fucking guy who played in different movies.
Yeah, whatever. I forgot his name now. His name was Michael. And so he moves in with him after, and he ends up fucking the guy's mom after, which made it so funny.
Yeah, throughout this movie, he's literally fucking every old lady past 50 years old.
That guy must have a disgusting body count. That's
everyone
for another time.
Everyone, he's like cooking the fish, and he's like doing push-ups.
Yeah.
And then he catches the fish like in his asshole.
Yeah, with his butt cheeks.
Oh my god.
Well, he did something similar with the movie of Jennifer Aniston, where he picks up the coconut with butt cheeks too. No, isn't there like something like that there in that movie as well?
Oh yeah, like those like resort things where there's like competitions and stuff, and then like you got to do like a trick or something.
With butt cheeks, he has a lot of things.
So you have Quentin Tarantino with the foot fetish, and Adam Sandler with the asshole fetish.
Basically, yes, he does everything with his butt cheeks.
Oh my god, and then the bad guy. What the hell's his name?
The bad guy.
That like everyone.
Phantom.
The Phantom.
The Phantom.
Yeah, John Turturro.
I know he played Transformers, but I don't remember his
name. And he's gonna be Carmen Falcone in the new Batman movie. He's also in The Big Lebowski as Jesus. He used to dance in a ponytail and he used to throw the ball and get a strike. Anyways.
Well, there's another funny moment as well where the Zohan goes to like the club with Michael to make him like let out some steam, talk to some girls and stuff. And he basically puts the DJ into a pretzel and takes control of the DJ booth.
With his dick.
And then you see him controlling the music, like rewinding it with his dick. Goes, like that.
Like, there's so many dick jokes and like having sex with like gilfs, but it's literally like they make it so funny,
Seriously. Well, yeah, especially back in the day when we were younger, it just made it even more funny. And afterwards, he just goes, disco, disco,
eh. And yes, a lot of people still do that at clubs.
Yes,
as a mockery, or if they're doing it like on purpose and they think they're gonna pick up chicks like that.
Yikes!
It's time to regroup, motherfuckers, and discuss a new plan on how to pick up girls. But I remember Rob Schneider's character when he's talking to the Phantom. He's like, "I found Zohan," and he's like, "Okay, where is he? Oh, he's in New York, whatever." And then he's like, "Okay, Phantom, come. So what do you want in my deal? I want to have a sex with your wife." And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Okay, I forgot what it was.
Yeah,
it was
over?
Yeah, you do it. You know it.
Yeah, because in the beginning, what happens was the guy's name was Salim.
Salim,
played by Rob Schneider.
You steal my goat! You steal my goat!
Yeah, he was mad.
He's thanking Zohan.
He was mad at Zohan because he stole his goat.
I know you. You steal my goat! Goat! Goat!
Don't worry about goat. I take care of goat. I gave it the neck scratch. You do the face? Did he do the face?
Did he do the face?
He did the face. He did the
my God!
He did the face. Yeah, so that was that scene there. But going back to before, so Salim basically figures out that Zohan is still alive, but he's in New York now. Sends the Phantom a picture and sends him to the restaurant. And so he's like, so he's like, what do you want to return? And then Salim's like, I want 50% of your restaurant. And he's like, no. I want 25% of your restaurant. No. I want yogurt shop attached to the restaurant. Okay. I want free ice cream, free yogurt every time I go. Okay. And then he's like, I also want 25 wives. No. One wife. No. One baby touch? Okay. Chicken lullaby. Guys basically start dancing in a circle. All his friends are dancing in a circle because he's getting a pee touch. And then it was just so funny.
With all like the rest of
and
like
that,
the Arabic friends there. They're all taxi drivers, which is
Yeah,
another stereotype they're making
yeah,
fun
it's
of.
another stereotype, but it's an exaggerated version of it's just funny. But the funny part also about it was like his wife, like Salim's wife, was also in the background with her kids, and she was like watching it all go down. That just made it even more funny.
Well, basically, the whole like theme about it as well is like, they're making fun of how the Middle East and the Jews have this religion war going on. That's really what it's about. But they have this like I said, a lot of these movies they try to take serious topics and turn it into like a mockery, a joke, and
Mm.
they're just saying like whatever you guys are doing out there in the real world, movies, dictators around the world, countries, religions, whatever. What you guys are doing is so wrong, and we're gonna make a movie to expose how really stupid
Yeah,
it really all is,
yeah,
because at the end of the day we should just not do that. We're all
yeah. And
friends.
they
It's
kind of
all
just show,
funny. It's all fun
yeah,
and games. This is life. We should respect each other and stuff. And that's why they make these movies. They
yeah.
make a mockery of
Yeah, and
serious
it shows like an exaggeration of
issues
the
that are
truth.
dumb.
It shows an exaggeration of a bit of the truth and
Yeah.
like what goes on in society, and just to make a joke out of it. You know what I mean? To show like what we could change. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah,
shows
they're
a
just
message.
trying to make a mockery, make them realize, what you're fighting for or
Yeah,
doing is literally dumb.
yeah,
It's not right. This
yeah,
is how dumb it is.
and
People
also
would laugh at you guys.
yeah, and also that you don't have to follow in someone's shadow as well, because like though Zohan was trying to follow his family heritage of all being a part of the military, but he didn't want to be a part of the military like every other part of his family member. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He wanted to become his own thing and do like what he wanted to do in life and achieve his own greatness. You know what I mean? And to fill his life purpose. So it kind
exactly.
of shows that message as well. Like, oh, you could do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? You could move somewhere across different country and still do what you want to do in life and become successful. You know what I mean? So that's why I liked about the movie too, because there's underlying messages behind it.
Exactly.
But another funny scene I have to bring up was like when the Zohan and Phantom finally team up, and then you see the Phantom finally say, "I like shoes," and he's like telling you all these shoes they likes, and he's like, "Oh, you want to try the Hugo Boss?" And then you see like as Phantom is telling Zohan about
Wow, very
shoes.
comfortable. There
It's
was
oh
something
very
like that.
comfortable Hugo Boss. I like, and it gives a lot. Then gives one of like the bad guys a feet uppercut. It was just so funny. That was a funny moment. And then afterwards, when you see the terrorist who was trying to like kill the puppies, that
Oh,
was another funny moment too. And you see like the description.
yeah, that was dumb, man. That was
That was
funny.
like another like a funny part
Some of
of it
these
too.
like
Like trying
a
to kill the
lot of
dogs.
some and maybe even most of these jokes, like they're so dumb that they're funny.
Yeah, and not only that because they come out at such like unexpected times throughout the film. So like
Like people like go into these movies not expecting these types of jokes, and like they're like, wow. That's why people laugh at
yeah,
this. That's why they're still considered or regarded as like hilarious movies to this day. They didn't. Maybe some of them aged well, but some of the jokes are still relevant to today's world.
yeah.
And do you have anything else to say? Because I don't
No,
want you cutting me off.
no, no worries, no worries.
Okay, number four, Borat, the most
Borat,
controversial one we have
definitely
on
most
this
controversial.
list.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, first we should at least mention that the movie does have a lot of like you say sexism and stuff like that.
Sexism,
There's a bit of
racism,
racism too. So
a bit, like half the
okay,
movie.
yeah, I'll just like to state that out. Just so of course
Homophobia
we do
too.
not support that obviously, and we are very accepting of everyone in the world. But they just I feel like even though it's not like good what they did, I just feel like they did. I would say they could have done a better job because nowadays a movie like that would have never passed
Yeah.
and it would have got canceled right away.
And like, sorry to cut you off
No
there,
worries.
but the other thing I want to clarify as well is that um, a lot of us watching these movies, like especially this one in particular, we don't really think as a viewer. We don't really go into this movie thinking, oh, this is like a problem and stuff, whatever. We just see it as a comedy, so we just laugh our asses off. But the people that are subjected to these issues, I feel bad for those people. So we were both skeptical on putting this as number four, but we were just looking at it at the perspective of like the first time watching all the comedies, what like if you have to make a top 10, what comes to your mind first? And that's what we're basing it on. And when I first watched Borat, it was the funniest thing to me. And I was younger. I was like 9 or 10 years old. I shouldn't have been watching that movie. I know I was underage, but like watching it, it was hilarious. You know what? And I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of us still see a lot of good, like quotes from those movies, and especially specifically this one. Okay, and I just want to we both want to clarify that we don't find this funny anymore, but the reason why it's on our list is because the first time watching this and acknowledging Sacha Baron Cohen portraying this character was literally like the best thing ever.
I say it also like broke a little bit of boundaries as well because like with a movie like this, it's like it's set up the Hangover, not the Hangover. It's set up the Dictator, like that type of like vibe of movies. You
But
know what I mean?
it declined after. That's why you don't
Yeah,
really see him making those types
yeah,
of movies anymore because
yeah.
he was depicting stereotypes that a lot of people, countries, leaders, basically society in general, were not okay with.
Yeah.
It was racist. It wasn't cool.
But there is some aspects of the movie that you could find humor in. Obviously, that's why we put it on the list.
Should we even say any of the jokes, or you think like it's just too harsh?
I say we could say one of them. The one I'll let you take this one because you're good. You're better at it than I am. Or you say like the girls in the cage,
Okay,
and
so I'm gonna say one joke, and there's so many jokes we could say about this movie, but the thing is that we don't want to get in trouble. We don't want to get shadow banned. We don't want to get blocked on YouTube or Spotify and every single platform. So I'm just gonna say one joke and try to attempt to do his voice. So he's like, "Hello, welcome to Kyrgyzstan," and he's like, "This is my sister. She is number two prostitute in all of Kyrgyzstan. This is my mother. She is oldest woman in Kyrgyzstan. She is 43. I love her. My brother Pirlo, he has this mental retardation. He's in a cage, and my sister used to show her vagine. You'll never get this. You'll never get this. La 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 la. And one day he will break cage, and he get this. High five. And then another joke. Oh, I'm like to say one more joke. Is basically when he's talking. Borat is interviewing feminists, and he's like saying like he's degrading women, which I'm not in agreement with, and not even Brandon, because it's totally wrong. But like the only thing I find funny about this to this day is they're so like mad about it, which I understand, but his response to it is classic.
yeah, like he was trying to get a response out of them, which
Yeah,
made it kind of funny.
come on, babyface, why are you not smiling? Or something like that, and I was pissing my pants. Like I still watch that clip, and it's the only one that like I still find like that's funny because a lot of people these days like they're hardcore feminists, and if you say those kind of things, it's really bad,
Well,
and it still is
yeah,
bad.
well, for obviously like a good reason as well. Like women have to go through so much to get to where they
Yeah,
are now, so it's reasonable, obviously, with the
and it's only funny.
but for the sake of comedy, I feel like some jokes should be allowed here and there.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
sometimes,
depending how you go with it, obviously.
and the reason why I was saying that it was funny was just because he's your typical moron that doesn't want to acknowledge that women are fully capable of being like smart and maybe even smarter and better than men. And there is a lot of women that are smarter than me and Brandon
Yeah,
and a
for
lot of
sure.
men. And honestly, like I praise those people because they're the best. But like,
I think there's one more scene we should mention.
which is
I don't remember the whole scene by heart, but like, remember when they're in that van and they go inside this like garage sale and they see that magazine?
oh yes, okay, this is
And
the
you,
last one. I promise.
this
I know.
this one's pretty good.
Yeah, I know we said that we were gonna stop at one, but you know what?
Just
We're
keep
gonna go
with
with
me right
this
now.
third and
Just keep
last
with me.
one, and then we're
I
moving
know
on. We're moving on
I know
after
you know
this.
pretty well. Yeah.
So, why do I know this pretty well? Because as a kid, when I first watched it a couple of times, especially the first time, I mimicked a lot what the character said, and I got in trouble once by my parents, and they're like, why are you saying jokes like that?" And then I realized they explained to me why this movie was really like bad for society. It didn't really help. Even though it made a mockery of a lot of things and exposed a lot of things like racism, sexism, and homophobia as well.
Yeah.
But this last scene we're gonna mention before moving on is uh, the gypsy.
Oh yes, the gypsy.
So basically, the gypsy story is Borat goes to this garage sale, and he's like, "Hello, gypsy. What are you selling today?" And she's like, "Oh, just these, it's a garage sale, whatever." And he's like, "Oh, is this?" He looks at the doll, and he's like, "Is this the woman you have shrunk?" And she's like, "No, these are my belongings. Whatever, gypsy." And he's like, "Do not cast the spells on me." He's like, "All I want is your tears." And then after he stumbles upon the Baywatch booklet, which has the famous Pamela Anderson on it, and he's in love with Pamela Anderson in this movie. So he literally doesn't even pay for it. He waits for the so-called gypsy to leave, and he just takes the book and he's like, and he just goes and he's like basically telling the fat guy to, yeah, he goes inside the van. He tells his chubby friend, start the car, and he's like freaking out. I was like, and then and then he's like, so what did you steal? I stole this book. No, I don't even think he showed the book because after later on in the movie he jacks off to the book and he gets all mad at him. No, my treasure, you fucking ruined it. Yeah. That's why they have a naked butt fight. Basically at the hotel, and then there's like a reception. There's like a meeting going down, and they're fighting through, and they're literally demolishing each other through tables and slapping each other's ass. They even go into a 69 position on the bed, and he's like, I don't want to get into the details. That's pretty much it. Anyways. Now we're going to our top three. So the third one could possibly be many of the people's or top movie basically.
Depending on the person who you ask, obviously. Step Brothers,
yeah.
A classic. Will Ferrell. I don't know the other guy's name, but
John C. Reilly,
whatever. Crazy movie, man. Basically about
two middle-aged guys still living with their parents.
Still with their parents, trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives, and not getting along. Kind of like with a real family, sometimes sometimes you don't always get along.
Completely.
There's always problems, but in the end, you kind of learn to get along with each other.
And what's so funny about this movie is that usually you see this in when you're like in your teens or maybe a little bit younger, and your parents, let's say they're divorced and get remarried and they don't get along, right? But these guys are literally like losers. They're like in their mid 40s, early 40s, whatever. Not the brightest people, they hate each other. The parents always say, "Oh, you don't ever have a real job," and he's like, "Yeah, so I coach a team." And they're like, "Oh, really? Not Brandon. Brandon's the Will Ferrell's character. I forgot John C. Reilly's character." He's like, "Oh, really? What do you coach?" Fantasy league. So I really take that stuff seriously, man. And they were like, "What the fuck? Like, you really know these guys are dumbasses, They go in like these wacky ass tuxedos and they get interviews by people. And one interview is actually there's a cameo from Seth Rogen. And he's like, "Oh, I really like your tuxedos. It's really funny. I like you guys. I'm gonna hire you." And then John C. Reilly farts, and then they just cross their legs and they put their hands together, and they're like, so Rogan's like, "What was that? Did you just fart?" "No, I didn't fart. What are we talking about?" And he's like, "I could literally taste that in my mouth." And then obviously he's like, "You know what? You guys are fucking weird. Fuck the tuxedos. You guys are fucking weirdos. You guys are not getting the job." And then Brandon, which is Will Ferrell's character, tells John C. Reilly's character, "You fucking fucked everything up. You fucking retard. What the fuck?" I'm not saying retard because that's not part of my vocabulary, but it's something that's said in the movie, so I'm misquoting them. So please do not bite my head off.
No, but one thing I like about the movie, it reminds me a bit of like Night of the Roxbury, kind of in a way.
How?
Well, it has a bit of that vibe where like two whatever is close, but their brothers as well in the movie, in Night of the Roxbury.
Yeah,
they don't get along very well, and
they don't get along towards the end
Yeah,
because
they start off okay, don't get
yeah,
along.
they had a fight and then they
It
get
has
back together.
Yeah, it's a bit of like a similar like underlying story, but yeah, the stepbrother is just hilarious. Like, one of my favorite moments is when they're both sleeping in the room in separate beds, obviously, and then one of the brothers says, "This is a house of learning doctors." And then Will Ferrell says, "You're not a doctor. You're just a big curly-headed fuck."
Yeah, and then not only that, man. Then when they're like getting like they sleepwalk and they have the hot gloves, they're like don't wake him up, don't wake him up. Like they tell the wife tells the husband, which is John C. Riley's dad. He's like, I'm fucking waking them up, and they go, and they're using the hot gloves and they're beating the shit out of Downey, throwing down the stairs.
Yeah, because there's something like if you wake somebody up during like while they're
sleepwalking.
They're sleepwalking is dangerous, and something like
and they just go fucking crazy.
Yeah,
they go mental. And not only that, they try to make the dad a music video, and they take his boat and they crash it. And that's a classic scene. And he's like, "You fucking idiots! I fucking hate you! What the fuck?" He's just losing his mind, and he kicks them out of the house. And no, he doesn't kick them out of the house. It leads to a divorce, and they're stuck living in the house together. They're just blaming each other. And they're having a fight, and then he literally knocks him out because he touched his drums. And then he tries burying him alive. Which is a classic scene. He's like, "Oh my god, Brandon, you're alive!" And then he knocks him out with a fucking shovel. "Brandon, what are you doing? I'm still alive, Brandon! What are you doing?" "Shut the fuck up! You're making it harder than it is." And just like buries him alive.
But what's so funny about it as well is like the parents are doctors, but yeah, they're not even close to like on that level.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the
so
parents are
ridiculous.
so smart, and then you have these two kids that are just like who are they?
You can't forget John C. Riley banging Will Ferrell's biological brother's wife. "I'm forgetting my life." She's like all crazy and she's like just banging him. He's like, "What's happening? What's happening?" He's like, "Oh, we're having sex. Oh, what?" And he's just like losing his mind. And then when they're in the treehouse and they literally knock him out and they knock out the Will Ferrell's real brother and he falls down and that's funny. And then you can't forget the classic closing act, which is basically the final act, where Will Ferrell starts singing and like unite with John C. Riley's character. He's playing the drums to save the Italian mixer. What's it called again? The Catalina wine mixer party or whatever the fuck it's called, and and then everyone says at the end, "The Catalina wine mixer, the fucking Catalina wine mixer," and everyone starts saying that, and then. Obviously, there's a happy ending. Everyone gets back together, even the parents that got divorced, and that's it. Is there anything else you want to add before we go to number 2?
I think we should go to number 2 now.
Number
Shag,
2?
baby.
Yeah. Shall we shag now or shag later? And that is number 2.
If you guessed it, you don't know. It's Austin
Powers, Gold Member.
There you go.
We could talk about the whole trilogy here, but we wanted to narrow it down to one.
There's so many iconic moments.
A lot of classic
classics.
moments with Fat Bastard and Mini-Me, Dr. Evil, Austin Powers, obviously, but this is the funniest one with the funniest characters and and most quotable scenes.
For me, one of my favorite moments was when it was towards the end of the film, and it was when Goldmember fights off Foxy, aka Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce.
And it was just so funny. And basically, he gets the key and he puts it into the things like it, I forget what it was, but he basically puts the key in, right? And Dr. Evil puts something to the machine to electrocute himself. And then as he turns the key, he gets electrocuted. Fasha,
can you hear me? That's a classic scene. Jesus, man.
And even another part was the Mini-Me. The jail scene with Dr. Evil when it's like, "It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock for me."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do a whole music video somehow production.
And then Mini-Me has a deep voice at one part of
he plays the
singing dance sequence, whatever you want to call it. Basically, Michael Myers' character Austin Powers, he plays Dr. Evil, Goldmember, and Fat Bastard. And Fat Bastard is a sumo wrestler in this movie. And he tells Beyonce's character, "Hey, I left a rosebud for ya. And then Austin Powers is hiding in, and he's like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, you really are a fat bastard. And then he's like, you know, that really hits my feelings, you know. I've been trying to go on a diet.
It's kind of hard because I like me carbs. Something like that.
No, it was like,
something about that.
he's like, you know, it's really hard as a kid when your weight is higher than the capacity of your town. Or something, some shit like that. It was so funny. And then when he's like taking a dump and he's like, a bowl of spaghetti. He's like, hey, I didn't have any corn. It's just, you know, it's just hilarious. So many scenes in that.
Yeah, and then also like when Austin Powers goes over the people, he steps on his stomach to cross the hot sauna there.
Yeah, that was funny.
And
that was super
and afterwards, like, I hope my wider team is ready. And he gets stuck in the wire.
That was funny.
And he gets stuck midair.
Oh man, that was hilarious. Not only that, but when what's his name? Fat Bastard's in the sumo wrestling match, and he grabs his titty and he's like, nipple twister. Oh, it's funny too.
No, the nipples or something like that.
Oh yeah, the nipples. Oh man, what else actually? Oh, fuck me and fuck you, or fuck you. Yeah, you know this part.
Fuck me and fuck you. So basically, I think it's the beginning of the movie, if I remember clearly. And Austin Powers is at this club doing his thing, you know, trying to get women as he does, you know what I mean? And his bucket list was always trying to get, in his bucket list, he always wanted to get 2 Japanese twins, right?
Which I don't understand.
Which I don't know how, but it ends up happening. And
yeah.
He gets one of them and he said, her name is Fuck Me. So Hunter's like, oh, my name is Fuck Me. And she's like seducing him, whatever, right? She goes out to get some drinks or something like that. And afterwards, the other one comes back, the other twin. And she's like, oh, fuck you. And after she seduces him as well. And then you realize that they're both twins.
Fuck me and fuck you. I forgot what he said after, but literally that's after where he sings, Daddy, da-na-na-na-na. Daddy wasn't there
to
change my underwear. It seems he didn't care. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. Daddy wasn't there. Anyways, you know that.
Yeah, and then afterwards, when he had the 2 twins like on that like bed or whatever it was, like sofa, he had like a Heineken, and then like the Heineken just like opens by itself, like burst off the cap.
Yeah.
And he's like, no way, this doesn't happen.
Yeah. You're forgetting your favorite scene in the movie. Mole, 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 mole.
Yes, this is an iconic scene. When the mole finally joins Austin, when the mole, obviously the guy who has the mole on his face, goes back to Austin Powers to get the information. Oh, such a great scene. And then like Austin Powers is trying to like keep it in that he doesn't want to like reveal like that the guy's a mole and make it so obvious.
He's like, mole.
He's like, how are you mole doing? And he's like, he can't help but say the word mole. And then when the guy finally like, leaves after talking to Austin Powers, it's like, mole, 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 mole.
Guacamole! Yeah, I remember that.
Bloody fucking mole. Chop it off and make some
guacamole! That was funny. I love that scene too.
And then he pokes him with a stick and he pokes the mole.
My God. What a fucking movie.
Oh, man. Well, even now, okay, what about this scene? I'm not sure if it's from the Goldmember. Might be from the series. But the moment when he goes talk to someone who's Chinese and you see the subtitles in the bottom and the subtitles are all wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's Goldmember because there's a lot of Chinese characters in that movie, or Asian characters. My bad.
Yeah, and then they go. Then later on, like he unplugs the fountain, or the fountain gets unplugged.
Oh, he's eating asparagus to piss.
Asparagus, and he's pissing to try to keep the fountain going.
And it stops.
And he's shooting his last bit.
Just going. Yeah, that's my attempt at making a piss sound. And I want to conclude it by saying one more scene that's really hilarious. Or at the end, at the premiere, when we find out that was like a whole movie, and like Tom Cruise plays Austin Powers, he's like, yeah, baby.
Oh,
and
man.
Danny DeVito plays Mini-Me.
Oh, yes. Classics.
And Steven Spielberg is directing it. That was fucking hilarious. At the end of the movie, they run into Fat Bastard, and he's like, "Oh my god, fat bastard, you actually lost all the weight." And he's like, "Yeah, look at my neck. It looks like a vagina."
And it's fucking. It looks like the loosest vagina you ever seen in your life.
Yeah, something
It
like
looks like a
that.
fucking wizard sleeve.
Which is actually a joke from Borat. Are you ready to go to number one?
I'm ready. Are the people ready though? That's the question.
If there's actually any people here. So
Let's do it soon.
number one is one that was basically a no-brainer, and that's Superbad. Superbad with Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, Bill Hader, Seth Rogen, and McLovin.
McLovin, the icon. You know what I mean? Running for president soon, hopefully.
Yeah, okay. One of the most iconic characters in comedy movies. Obviously, McLovin. His real name is Fogel. Fuck, man. Boy, you started off, man.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get a little underlying thing of the plot, right? So basically, it's about Jonah Hill and his friend Evan, and they're basically just trying to finish off high school so they can move on to college. But they want to date. Well, they want to at least date or have some experience with a girl before they move on to college.
They want to get laid for the first time.
Yeah, they want to have laid or have some experience or date a girl one last time before they go to college.
This is based on Seth Rogen and one of the producers on this movie. Their actual friendship from high school, and they're actually still friends till this day. The two creators of this movie. So I wanted to throw that in. So continue, Brandon.
Yeah, and it kind of like goes with a lot of kids our age, I would say. You know, a little bit younger, I would say, when in high school. You know, you want to be that kid who's popular, who fits in, who gets invited to all the parties, you know? And that's exactly these guys are trying to be. They want to be those kids who get invited to all the parties, but sadly, there's not. They're not the popular kids. And for them, their way in is to buy all the alcohol for the party.
Yeah, and there are the three stereotypes. You got, the overweight kid, the complete nerd, and then like
the extra nerd,
Michael Cera is like the wimp, he gets pushed around a lot. I mean, not in the movie, but I mean in real life, like the typical stereotype of the guy who gets pushed around a lot.
Yeah, in high school, yeah. And and then they're just trying to be well known by the end of the movie, and live like one huge party that they will never forget before they go to college. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just about the plot. Chris, is there any moments you want to talk about?
Yes, there's a couple actually.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with the first one where Seth Rogen. Well, not Seth Rogen, but like the character that Jonah Hill is playing is actually supposed to be Seth Rogen. So, from his past, basically, because the movie's based on him. So Seth, which is Jonah Hill's character's name, he talks about his problem as a kid, where he had like this really bad habit of drawing dicks.
But only 8% of kids have this. Apparently,
only 8% of the kids, because he knows that. He knows his info on kids with the disability of being fantasizing dicks on everything. So he draws like robot dicks and all this crazy shit, and he used to hide them in his Ghostbusters lunchbox. And then the principal, once he gets caught by, I think her name is Becky or something like that.
Oh, it was a girl he likes.
No, it's the girl that Michael Cera's character likes. And the principal finds out, and he tells him, "Yeah, you're possessed by the dick devil."
The dick devil. And he sent a priest.
He sent like a priest to freaking have this exorcism on him to remove like the dick devil.
Holy water.
They don't show that, but he talks about it. Another thing that Brandon claims to use in his future conversations with women is when Emma Stone's character basically tells Jonah Hill's character Seth, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And then he's like, well, the thing about my back is that it's located on my cock. And then they're like looking at each other like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's so weird, but yet like so funny, because it was so unexpected. Like no one expected for him to say that. Like you would have thought he would have said something else, but it was just so funny. But going on afterwards to McLovin, he gets the fake ID to try to get them the alcohol so he can get invited to the party, and they get robbed. And then here's one of my favorite scenes come in, where Seth Rogen and Bill Hart both play the officers, and basically, I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. Then afterwards, there's a lady who works at the
The drug market, the
yes,
drugstore.
yes, the drugstore.
Okay.
And afterwards,
The alcohol store, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, and basically,
Well, he doesn't get the store gets robbed. They don't get robbed.
yeah,
And he knocks McLovin or Fogel, whatever you want to call him, out. And then the cops come in and they help Fogel, and that's where the friendship begins.
yeah.
You know?
And then afterwards, they question the African American lady who was the cashier, and then they ask her, "Oh, how did the robber look like?" And he's like, "Oh, I look like you guys." "Ah, so like he was Jewish?" I was like, "Wow, that's very surprising because normally Jewish people are very docile. Normally we don't commit crimes like that." And it was just so funny. And then afterwards, Bill Harder comes in and says, "Oh, so he was a Jew and he was African American." And it was so like unexpected and weird. It's just so funny. Because it was so dumb.
And I just want to point out, like, the characters in this, you know, like, their wardrobes are hideous. Michael Cera's always in brown, looks like a big piece of shit. And, what's his name? Seth, Jonah Hill's character, has literally no taste in clothing. And he has no fashion whatsoever. But yet he has such high confidence, you know. When he talks to his friends, he talks as if he knows everything. He has all the answers to every question. But when it comes to doing the deed is not done.
Yeah.
He's all talk and no action. He's full of shit. You know, he's just as a pussy as them, you know? And
I think you have to mention McLovin's outfit. I think the vest. How sexy, Chris? How sexy?
Very sexy.
How sexy do you look with that
I'll quote what Michael Cera says in this.
Sexiest man alive.
You look like fucking Aladdin in that vest. Take that vest off, and that vest is literally the vest that he uses at his job. Like,
yeah.
So me too. When I go to a party, I'm gonna wear a vest. I'm gonna wear the Walmart vest.
Yes, the sexiest vest. Come on, it was worn by Drake and everybody else.
It's such in fashion, you know. If McLovin's wearing it, I think we should wear it too.
Even Gucci's trying to copy that now.
And then a key part, a really funny part about the McLovin name is when they're looking at his fake ID, and then Jonah Hill's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is McLovin?" He's like, "It's a very common name, besides Mohammed." And he's like, "What? Why fucking Mohammed?" "Well, pick up a fucking book, and you'll fucking know that it's actually one of the most popular names around the world." And he's like, "Shut the fuck up." He's like, "You look like a fucking future pedophile in that fucking picture."
And you're an organ donor as well. He's made fun of him like that too.
Oh man, funny. It's freaking hilarious. McLovin's character, man, I love him this movie.
Yeah, then he's like, "Why did you make yourself 21? Why did you make it like why did you make yourself 25 instead of 21?" It's like, you're obviously not 25. You know what I mean?
Man, and then there's one scene. The last scene I want to conclude with on my part. I don't know if Brandon has anything else to say. Is when the cops basically find out that McLovin is fucking the hot ginger that he was fantasizing about. He was like literally like low-key stalking her because her G-string was sticking out, and they cock block him. He's like, "Why'd you cock block him? We're not supposed to cock block him. We're supposed to be guiding his cock and not cock blocking him." And then he's like, he's apologizing. He's like, "I'm sorry, man. You know, I didn't mean to cock block you. I should be guiding your cock." You know, like, it's stupid stuff like that. And like also like when Jonah Hill's talking about like how to have sex and stuff. He's like, "You know, I want to have like these special dick fucking abilities." You know, it's hilarious, man.
And another funny moment I would have to say is when Jonah Hill ends up grinding with this girl at the party, and he ends up getting period blood on his pants. And then afterwards, the actual boyfriend of that girl comes in, and he has period blood as well.
He literally looks like a douchebag. I don't know why he's wearing a Brazil jersey. He's
he's wearing a Brazilian
Brazilian.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but it was just so funny because then he tries to beat up Jonah Hill, and it's just an hilarious moment. Like they're blood brothers, you know what I mean? They both had like the
blood brothers. That's hilarious.
Blood brothers. And then he tries beating his ass. It was just so funny.
Do you want to talk about what's happening during that time to Michael Cera's character, where he's forced to sing?
Oh yes. Do you want me to sing some of the song as well?
Yeah, sing the song, man.
So basically, that Evan has to sing this song because he was like in this room, and all these drug dealers come in and they start like smoking cocaine, rolling up joints, whatever, right?
I think you should snort cocaine, not smoke.
No, they're doing both. I think that joints, they're snorting cocaine.
Oh, okay.
They're doing all that jazz, right? They're doing all that, right? And then basically, Evan was forced to sing a song because apparently like, his brother was famous or something like that.
Oh my god.
So they have to sing the song "These Eyes," which is like an old classic, right? And then it goes off like this. It goes, "These eyes cry every night for you. These arms long to hold you."
I actually know the song by heart, whatever. He
Oh
starts
my
getting
God.
into it, and he starts like
Yes,
slapping
and he
his
starts-
thigh, and he's going, yeah,
And
whatever.
they're all doing the ad libs in the song as well.
Yeah,
which
they're all like
makes it
singing.
hilarious.
It was just a funny way to film that scene, to be honest. And I just wanted to say that the reason why Seth Rogen did not play himself in this movie is because he was too old, so he really wanted to be in this movie, so he played the cop instead. But yeah, so that's our top 10, including our honorable mention. I just wanted to take the time to say thank you, Brandon, for being a part of my show.
Anytime, always glad to be here.
And to the viewers, don't forget to subscribe and watch my past videos. Thank you. Have a nice day, everybody.